August 1993, southern Siberia. 7 experienced hikers enter the remote Khamar Daban mountains. Only one comes out alive. They started screaming, bleeding from their eyes and ears, foaming at the mouth. Then, one by one, they collapsed and died. What happened on that mountain? Today, we're diving into one of the strangest and most terrifying hiking disasters ever recorded, the Khamar Daban incident. You might have heard it called the Russian Mountain Madness case, and it's often compared to the infamous Dyatlov Pass incident. But this story has one crucial difference. There was a survivor. Her testimony only makes the mystery even deeper. The events took place in the Khamar Daban mountain range, a stunningly beautiful but unforgiving region in Buryatia, southern Siberia, right near the world's largest freshwater lake, Lake Baikal. In the summer, it's a popular destination for hikers and tourists. But the weather here can turn in an instant, transforming a scenic trek into a fight for survival. Our group consisted of 7 hikers from Kazakhstan. These weren't amateurs. They were led by Lyudmila Korovina, a 41-year-old instructor with a master level of experience, the highest you can get. With her were 6 students, mostly teenagers, but all with solid hiking skills. There was 23-year-old Alexander Krisin, 24-year-old Tatyana Filipenko, 19-year-old Denis Shvakin, and 3 younger members, 16-year-old Viktoria Zalasova, 15-year-old Timur Babanov, and the sole survivor, 17-year-old Valentina Yutoshenko. Their trip started on August 2nd, 1993. The first few days went according to plan. They successfully summited a peak known as Retranslator and began their descent, navigating the rugged terrain. Everything seemed fine. They were on schedule, and despite the challenging landscape, they were in good spirits. But then came the morning of August 5th. A torrential downpour the previous day had left the group soaked and freezing. The temperature had dropped, and their gear was completely waterlogged. They were camped on an exposed, treeless ridge, vulnerable to the elements. This is where the story, according to the only person who lived to tell it, takes a sharp turn into absolute horror. As the group was packing up their camp, a scream suddenly pierced the morning air. It was Alexander. He grabbed at his throat, his eyes wide with terror, before collapsing to the ground. Then, blood started to trickle from his eyes and ears, and foam frothed at his mouth. Panic erupted. Before anyone could process what was happening, others started showing the same horrifying symptoms. They began bleeding, crying out in agony, and collapsing as if struck by sudden, violent heart attacks. Their leader, Lyudmila, the most experienced one there, tried to take control, to help the others. But then she too succumbed, clutching her chest and falling dead. The remaining members descended into chaos. They started screaming uncontrollably, running around in a frenzy, some even bashing their heads against the rocks. In a bizarre and tragic twist, a few began tearing off their own clothes, a phenomenon known as paradoxical unbracing, which can occur in the final stages of severe hypothermia. 17-year-old Valentina, watching her friends die in the most gruesome way imaginable, was overcome with terror. She did the only thing she could think of. She ran. She ran for kilometers, not daring to look back, until she found a small hiding spot where she collapsed from exhaustion. For the next few days, she survived alone in the wilderness, eating berries and trying to stay hidden. Finally, on August 9th, she stumbled her way down to the Snezhnaya River. It was there that a group of Ukrainian kayakers found her covered in blood, disoriented, and in a state of deep shock, mumbling incoherently about how her friends had all died. The kayakers immediately alerted the authorities, and a search and rescue operation was launched. What they found was a scene of utter devastation. The bodies of the 6 hikers were found scattered across a small area, just 100 meters or so from their last campsite. Their positions were strange, contorted. Some were partially undressed, confirming Valentina's story. The official autopsies conducted by the Russian authorities only added to the confusion. The cause of death for 5 of the hikers was listed as hypothermia. The leader, Ludmila, was said to have died from a heart attack. The reports noted that some of the victims had bruised lungs and evidence of protein deficiency, but no major external injuries that could explain their deaths. Crucially, basic toxicology tests found no traces of any known poisons. The bleeding from the eyes and ears was explained away as a possible result of pulmonary edema, which can be caused by a combination of high altitude and physical exertion. But for many, this official explanation just didn't add up. How could a group of experienced hikers all succumb to hypothermia so suddenly and violently? This is where the theories begin, and they range from the scientifically plausible to the deeply conspiratorial. The most accepted official theory combines several factors: mass panic, severe hypothermia, and altitude sickness. The idea is that the group was already weak from being wet and cold. Then, one person, perhaps Alexander, suffered a sudden medical crisis, like a high-altitude pulmonary edema, causing the bleeding and foaming at the mouth. Seeing this, the others, who were already physically and mentally stressed, fell into a state of mass panic. This psychological breakdown, combined with the brutal cold, created a vicious cycle that led to their rapid demise. But many people aren't satisfied with that. A far more popular theory, especially in conspiracy circles, involves secret military testing. This region of Siberia is not far from old Soviet military installations. Could the hikers have accidentally stumbled into a test zone for some kind of weapon? Perhaps a nerve agent, an infrasound device that causes panic and organ damage, or even a microwave weapon. This could explain the sudden, simultaneous onset of bizarre symptoms. The lack of evidence could be attributed to a quick military cleanup or the use of a substance that dissipates quickly. Then there's the psychological explanation: pure mass hysteria, or what some call mountain madness. This is a known phenomenon where the isolation, stress, and physical hardship of a remote environment can trigger a shared psychotic episode. The panic from one person could have acted as a contagion, spreading through the group and causing them to act irrationally, leading to their deaths. Another theory points to poisoning. Maybe they ate poisonous mushrooms or plants by mistake. Or perhaps their water source was contaminated with some natural toxin or even industrial waste. This could explain the violent physical reactions. However, the official autopsies didn't find any common poisons, though it's possible the tests weren't thorough enough to detect something more obscure. Finally, there is a darker, more personal theory. Some have quietly questioned the survivor's story. Valentina Yutoshenko gave her testimony in 1993, but has refused all interviews ever since, choosing to live a private life away from the spotlight. Could she be hiding something? It's a very sensitive accusation, and there's absolutely no evidence to support it, but in the vacuum of a true explanation, suspicion sometimes falls on the only one left. In the end, we are left with a chilling puzzle. 6 dead hikers, a lone survivor haunted by what she saw, and an official explanation that feels incomplete. The Khamar Daban incident remains one of the creepiest and most compelling unsolved mysteries of the great outdoors. We may never know the full truth of what happened on that Siberian mountain. So what do you think happened? Was it a perfect storm of natural forces and human psychology? A secret military experiment gone wrong? Or something else entirely? Let me know which theory you believe down in the comments. If you enjoy diving into mysterious cases like this one, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. And don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss our next investigation. Thanks for watching.